Welcome to Sagar Reads, a space where stories meet wisdom. Here I share powerful tales, timeless lessons, and motivational insights that inspire us to think deeper and live better. If you love exploring ideas that can change your perspective, you are in the right place. Let's begin today's journey together. Today's topic is life is not linear. Let me introduce first. Life is not a straight road. It doesn't move step by step in the way we imagine as children. School, then college, then job, then marriage, then happiness. We often think of life like a ladder where one step naturally leads to the next, but the reality is very different. Life is more like a river. It bends, it flows in unexpected directions, sometimes calmly, sometimes wildly. It doesn't follow the exact path we plan of ourselves. When we face setbacks, we often feel like our story has ended, but in truth, those setbacks are not ending. They are turning point. They redirect us toward places we might never have considered. To understand this better, let's look at two stories. One of Arjun's story and another is Meera's story. So let's go with the Arjun stories. Arjun was a boy who believed his life was clear and mapped out. He stood he studied hard, dreaming of admission to one of the top colleges, but in his final year of school, he fell ill. He missed classes, his marks dropped, and his dream of entering the best college shattered. At first, Arjun felt lost. He believed his future was ruined, that he was left behind, while his friend moved forward. But in the smaller college he joined, something unexpected happened. He discovered his love for painting. A simple art club became the place where he felt alive again. What began as a hobby grew into passion. Soon his painting won prizes and recognition in life. What began as a hobby grew into passion. Soon his paintings won prizes and recognition. If life had gone according to his original plan, he might never have found this side of himself. His so called failure was not the end, it was a redirection that led him to something more meaningful. Lesson: failure doesn't mean your story is over. Sometimes failure is to push you need to discover who you really are. Mira's stories. Mira was the kind of student who excelled at everything. Everyone expected her to become a doctor, and she did. She spent years studying and finally entered the medical profession. On the outside, she looked successful, but inside, she was unhappy. The long hours, the pressure, and the constant exposure to suffering drained her. And deep inside, Mira knew she had another love, writing, but she had ignored it, thinking it was impractical. One day, tired of living a life that didn't feel like her own, she made a bold decision. She left her medical career to write. At first, people criticized her. Friends thought she was wasting years of hard work, but she kept going. Her first book was published, and another. Soon, her words reached thousands of readers. Her experiences as a doctor gave her stories depth and empathy. What once felt like wasted years as a doctor gave her story depth and empty, what once felt like wasted years turned out to be the foundation of her success as a writer. Lesson: changing directions. Changing direction is not failure. Every path, even the one we leave behind, contributes to who we become. So, the bigger picture, these stories remind us that life is not linear, it doesn't move in a straight, predictable line. Instead, it is full of detours, delays, and surprises. We may start in one place but end up somewhere entirely different. Sometimes rejection saves us from the wrong path. Sometimes failures guide us to our true purpose. Sometimes what feels like the end is actually the beginning of something better. We need to understand that everyone's journey is unique. Some people succeed early, other later. Some people change careers, other find passion in unexpected places. There is no fixed timeline and there is no single definition of success. So the main conclusion: life is not a ladder, it's a dance. It is not a straight road, it is a winding river. We should not fear when things don't go according to plan. The pause, the setback, and the detours often carry hidden gifts. They teach us patience, strength, and resilience. They reveal talents and patience we never knew we had. So when life bends in a direction you did not expect, remember, it is not the end of your journey, it may just be the beginning of the story you were truly meant to live. Because sometimes the detour is the real destination. Thank you so much, guys, for listening me. I hope you learned a lot from that two story. So if you like this audio, kindly just subscribe and hit the like button for the more latest update. Thank you so much.